Hey guys, Kev here, and I have two fidget items to talk to you about today. So these are two wildly different items, and they've both been sent to me by the respective people behind these brands and products. And I've had this one for a pretty long time. This one I got pretty recently, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to combine them into a video about two fidget items. And let me know down in the comments which one of these is more your style. And if you want to pick up either of these, I'm going to put links down below. These are not affiliate links, but they did send me these items. I'm not sure if I'm sending them back or what's going on there, and I'll figure that out. But just so you know, these are my honest opinions on these products. But I'll put links down below. This is from Ravenlock, so you can go to ravenlock.com, and like the bird. And then this is the Fidget Cube from Fidgets, and this is currently on Kickstarter right now. I'm going to pull up their websites and or Kickstarter to give you some more information on these as we go through here. This one's just called the Magnetic Slider Pen. And then this one is called the Fidget Cube. So we can go through them. Let's start with the pen. And you could skip ahead if you're interested in the Fidget Digit instead. This one is the Magnetic Slider Pen from Ravenlock. It's currently on sale on their website for $19.99, $120. I believe these are machined in his shop. You guys may remember the Ravenlock knife. I saw it on Neve's Knives channel. Shout out to Neve's Knives. I never got to check one out, but it was a knife that had a magnetic sort of locking system, and it had like 18 positions, and it was pretty wild looking. Well, it's the same creator of that created this. So that's why it's ravenlock.com. And this is his new product, the magnetic pen here. So first off, this is made out of brass, which is not for me. So I'm not a brass, copper, smelly metal guy. Brass is a little better than copper. It's not as stinky, but there's just something, the way they react to my oils and stuff, it just doesn't do well. Plus the weight of it, I really just don't like that on pens, flat on anything really, except for, hose bibs and stuff like that. But it's made out of 6061 TC aluminum and 304 stainless steel, and then obviously brass. So it is essentially a pen, a twist pen, and you twist this like that. And I don't know if you can hear it as it rotates. And as you rotate that, the tip actually comes out of the pen until it hits essentially a stop. And you'll see now it's untwisting completely. And if you do that, this little piece comes out of here. And you can see there's magnets embedded up here and magnets embedded down here. And that's how it works. And then this goes down in and threads into what essentially is your refill. So you'll see you can actually set your position, which is really cool on a pen, because that's one thing that bugs me on pens is when you have a pen that's like this and it's like, oh, I just need more tip. I call it tip exposure. This has basically unlimited settings for tip exposure. You can come all the way out, or you can set it wherever you like. It does take a little bit of time to twist this guy, but for all the other stuff involved here, I think it's pretty cool. It does come to a dead stop at this point. You can't, once it's closed, it's all the way closed. You can't keep spinning that. So you have a little bit of spin area when it comes to the cap here, but at some point it's either going to unscrew or totally close, right? Now, to access the refill, you literally just pull on this. So you break the magnetic tension there, And then here is your sort of inner, you know, I don't know what you would call this. And then here's the refill. And it's just I can't grab it out right now, but it's just a D1 refill. So it'll fit any D1 refill. And then to insert it, you literally just put it back in. And then the magnets will take over and you're back together. Guess there's a little bit of oil in there. So that's how the pen functions. And then the pen itself is rather large. That's the other thing for me that I don't personally care for. So the material and then the length. I told Ravenlock I would love a mini version of this. I think I would much prefer myself a mini version. I have large glove-sized hands, so I don't have huge hands. If you have XL or 2XL hands, you probably like the size of this. And I know why he did it, because, you know, you're trying to get that functionality of the magnetic stuff. But for actually being a pen, it's just a little obnoxiously big for me personally. But it does have good balance. It writes well. All of that stuff is fine. It's just big. You know, I'd want it like this big. So then you have this sleeve right here, and this is cool. This is how it kind of gives you the fidget factor. So this actually will slide down the pen, and it'll hit different magnetic points along the way. Sorry, I got some stuff up there. It's bouncing. So you can kind of hold it like this and pop it up, right? And then once you get it to the end here, you can kind of set it up where if you have it the right way, you can actually flip it over and it'll have a different feel. So you have one that's a little more aggressive and one that's a little softer. I don't notice much of a difference, but there is a difference. But there is one where you can kind of, I guess it was the other way, where you get it to the end and then you can kind of pop it and it'll come back up. I've been struggling with getting it right. There it goes. So it'll kind of pop back up, but I tend to just push it too far or something. I don't know what's going on there. But, you know, you can rotate it around like this, in this direction. You can go up and down. The thing that I've done the most is this, where I kind of just spin it in my hand, and then I hold it at the end. And that's why I was saying if it was smaller, I think for me, I'd be able to manipulate it just a bit better. It's just a little too long for my hands to reach. But you can see there's a lot of fidget action going on here. And then you also have the tail you can kind of fidget with. You can rotate the whole thing. There's just a lot of stuff you can do, different little motions. So for you guys out there that like fidgets like this, where you can kind of create your own moves, so to speak, I think this is really, really good. For me personally, if it was smaller, I think maybe I'd be more into it. But this, to me, requires two hands most of the time to be, like, as fun as I want it to be, where I'm doing this and I'm kind of fidgeting it around, spinning it, and rotating it, where I usually prefer a one-handed fidget because I'm usually typing and then I just kind of do something for a second, type, or I use one hand with the mouse while I'm, you know, clacking away or whatever. With this, you could do that. You know, you could just use the table. So there's a lot of cool options. Yeah, so that is the magnetic slider pen, and you guys can check this out at ravenlock.com. And again, it's $119.99 currently, and I will link that down below. So thank you to Ravenlock. Really appreciate you sending this out to me. The next one is the Fidget Cube from Fidgets, and this one has an interesting kind of concept behind it. So the guy behind this brand messaged me and asked me if I wanted to check it out, because I have fidget videos on my channel. And I said sure. And when I got it, I realized this is essentially just a metal version of the original ANSI Labs Fidget Cube, which has not all the same things, but most of the same things on it. And to me, it kind of just felt like sort of a knockoff, but just made in metal. And so I told the guy from Fidgets, I said, hey man, you know, sorry, I don't want to be a bummer or anything, but I feel weird making a video on this because it just feels like you made a metal fidget cube. And what he said was, that's exactly what I was trying to do. So that's exactly what he was trying to do, was take the plastic fidget cube and kind of put it into a metal form factor. And I'm not positive if he talked to Ansi Lab, who makes the plastic one, or not, but he may have talked to them and kind of, figured things out there. But so I just want to put that out. That was my first reaction, was like, oh, this is just a metal version of that. But that's exactly what he was going for. So, okay. So with that said, this is a fidget cube made of aluminum. And I looked on the Kickstarter. These are going for, I think, 47 euros or pounds. I wasn't sure which one it was. I think it was euros. And that's about $57 on the early bird. I think it's $57. And then it's going to go up to like $60 once the early birds are filled, which there's like 2 spots left. He's got it about $10,000 funded at this point. Let me show you that real quick. So here's the Kickstarter, and you have the super early bird. It comes in this raw color, blue or black. And you can see here, $57 for super early bird. They're delivering in October. And does it tell us where are we at with the, let me see if I can figure out. Here it is. So he is fully funded, it looks like. He's got $10,000 funded of a $6,000 goal. So that's awesome. They are totally funded. 28 days to go, 137 backers, and it is out of the UK, so that might be pounds we were looking at there before. But you could check this out on Kickstarter. I will link it down below, but that's the information on the Kickstarter. And then here's what you get. So you have these sort of 5 balls that are on magnets. So there's steel balls and there's magnets underneath. So you can kind of roll them around, set them up however you want. If you remember on the original Fidget Cube, they had a section with 5 things, and then you could click each one. This is a little different. It has magnets where you can move them around. There was a video showing where somebody was taking these out and then kind of throwing them back in, which, I don't know, to me that's difficult, but you can do that. You can kick them around and, stuff like that. So you have that section there to mess with. You have this one here, and all of these are pretty much removable parts. You have a magnet back here, and then you have this piece and the 4 magnets there. And it looks like maybe you could put a ball in there. I don't know. I didn't test that, actually. Let's see if I can get one out again. Ugh. Yeah, you can kind of put a ball. Oh, look at that. So you can put a ball in there. And then this thing rotates around. Now, that ball is not doing anything for me, so I'm going to remove that. And let's see. So you can kind of just rotate it like this. But there's nothing really satisfying about this. It's not giving me like loud clicks. Yeah, and then it popped out there. I don't know. This one doesn't give me the, I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But anyway, you have that one. Then you have the switch. This was always my favorite one. Just pop in the switch, right? This one does give you good clicks, which is always what I prefer. And that's why you have all these options, so there's something for everyone. Maybe some people like the way this one kind of just gives you a little rotation, and other people might prefer the loud clicks like I do, right? And again, that piece comes out and has a little, it's basically just a little seesaw in there that you kick back and forth. This side is just like a cheese grater that you can, I guess, kind of worry stone, rub your fingers on or something. So you have that one here. And then on the bottom here, you have just basically a slider. Just slides back and forth. But again, it's not very clicky. It's silent. So maybe this one's meant for people who are in a meeting and don't want to be loud, but they want to have a little bit of fidget going on so they can silently slide this back and forth. And it has that same kind of cheese grater feel on there. And then the last one is the top plate, which comes off. And you have a bunch of magnets on it, and it's meant to be kind of like a slider. So you could slide it forward and back like this. And I'm guessing you could probably come up with some moves and spin it around. I didn't find much that I could do with it that was like reliable. You know, you can see how it's kind of just going all over the place. Other than the, you know, you can click it two ways, basically. 1, 2, and then, you know, you can mess with it here and click up and down. Stuff like that you can do. So those are all the options on the Fidget Cube. You know, personally, I honestly prefer the original plastic one. It's lighter weight and it had more clicky stuff. I like clicky stuff. This is, you know, this has cool magnet stuff. But I like to click, like click, click, click. And it had the joystick, which was the best. It was the best one on there. You had a joystick you could move around and then click too. And it was just so much fun. I always broke them because I'd pull it out. It was something I always fidgeted with. I would pull the joystick out. But, you know, this one has some different options, some of the same options. And, you know, it is obviously paying homage to that Fidget Cube that we originally had way back in the day. So let me know what you guys think of the Fidget Cube. And the magnetic slider pen. Again, I'll put the links down below. If you guys are interested in these, you of course can check those out. Let me know if you have any questions down below. You could tell me which one's your favorite, which one you would take, if any other feedback you want to give the makers, designers. You can of course put that down there as well. And yeah. That's it. I love you guys. Thank you so much to the companies for sending these my way to check out. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.